It's Sunday, October 29th, 2017. Weekend market recap. DAX 30 index. Okay. As to my analysis on the DAX 4-hour Thursday, October 26th, I noted these three wicks on these candles that have tested a support, and I said, depending on what happens on Thursday, if the candle and the price action breaks below the 61.8 Fibonacci time angle measurement, and if it tests this, the probability of a further drop was pretty high as per Gann's rule of 4. As we know, though, we had the ECB meeting and Mr. Fraudster Draghi speaking, and that was always going to dictate the price action either way. And we know Draghi didn't disappoint by, even though I believe he reduced the tapering program, but he's extended it to September 2018, and said, quote, "We'll continue quantitative easing measures if necessary." So the Ponzi scheme looks like continuing for some time yet. But nevertheless, the DAX 30 loved it, and we had this massive breakout. So as to my original analysis, I was only bearish if two things: if it broke the Fibonacci time angle, and if it broke below the previous wick. Therefore, the break up here completely voids that whole scenario. So what do we have here is, I've heard a few other people say this is a bear flag. Now, this is not a bear flag. This is a bull flag, and the reason why is, when you're identifying bull flags or bear flags, it's simple as this. A bull flag is determined by a continuation of continued shrinking price action that forms a flag or a wedge upon a top of a break, a major break. So as we can see, we've had a major move, a few 100-point move depending on where you measure it, and now we've had this consolidation where it's forming a flag. So this is a bull flag. A bear flag would be if we had to break lower a few 100 points, and then it formed a wedge or a flag pattern at below the bearish pole. That's simple as that. So I don't understand people saying this is a bull flag. So in saying that, if it breaks out of this flag pattern, my target is to the top side is a most likely test of the 50 Fibonacci time angle with an intersection point of a Fibonacci horizontal measurement of the 423, which equates to 13,360. Now, it might not get there in the first two 4-hour candles. It may take a little bit longer. But given how these markets are, I do expect a test higher. Now, I'll just switch over to the daily. Have a look at something here that's of importance. As we can see, we've hit an important Gann timing angle right at the top. It got rejected right at the top of that timing angle. Zoom in. It hit it dead on. Now, as we know with these timing angles here, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to retrace straight away. I still believe, as per to the 4-hour chart, that we'll probably get an attempt to break above this timing angle and probably test this other angle where it intersects, where those two meet, which gives a target of 13,344, which on the 4-hour gives us, as we know, on that angle, 13,362. So back to the daily, I think we'll get an attempted break above this, but my analysis, my forecast is it probably won't hold and it'll probably dip back in below, and that may be the top for the time being, and we may see a retrace as follows. So that could be a possible area if it does hit, a area to look, possibly take short positions. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out. So that's my call for the DAX 30 for Monday onwards. We'll see how it goes.